Hi everyone, this is Clara from Embodied. I'm one of the physios here, and today we're going to do a live video about ergonomics at home, how to set up a workstation. That's something we've been asked a lot lately due to the current circumstances. Usually when we have patients that suffer from headaches or neck pain, shoulder pain or back pain, it's the questions that we always ask to them if they do computer or desk work. We ask them about how is the desk, if it has been assessed by a specialist, if they have the right chair, and we also give them tips how to modify and make it better for them. It is also very useful these days if you have kids doing homeschool and they're using, I know most of them are doing classes online, so they're going to spend a few hours probably sitting, and it's very important for kids as well to have the right posture to prevent any aches. So yeah, if you have to start doing home office, I think this is a very, I'm going to give you good tips so you make sure you're doing the right thing and you're avoiding having aches due to long sitting and using the computer. So also I'm going to be the video, so just stay tuned and I will tell you a little bit more about this. Okay, so first thing we're going to start is talking about your posture when you're sitting. So to start with, something that's going to be good for you to remember to make sure you're doing it right is thinking of your pelvis, your ribs, your shoulders and your head. So we are supposed to avoid any pain is if your ribs are right above your pelvis, if your shoulders are right above your ribs, and if your head is right above your shoulders. Why is that? Because if, let's suppose most of us tend to have this posture, slouch posture, nice and comfy. That probably is nice and comfy for only 5 minutes. After a while it gets a bit funny, or sometimes patients will describe the habit after sitting for a while when they stand up, they feel it very bad on the back. And that's because that's putting a lot of pressure on your lower back. So that's something we need to avoid, especially because when you're working, you are so concentrated and focused on what you're doing. Like you're probably going to be spending 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours working on the computer without even noticing where your body is. And that's what we need to fix. We need to make sure that you start in a good position, so that's going to avoid your muscles. So if we are in this slouch posture, my pelvis is forward compared to my ribs. And what do we say? That our ribs have to be right above our pelvis. So what we do, fix that. We try to do our pelvis backwards. Usually it's going to be touching your lower back, it's going to be touching the back of your chair. And we make sure your ribs are above it. So another common thing that happens, we try to slouch this way. So look at my head. Is my head above my shoulders? Are my shoulders above my ribs? Are my ribs above my pelvis? Of course not. Everything is forward. So that's a thing we need to fix. We put the pelvis, then we bring the big ribs backwards, shoulders are going to follow it, and our head is going to follow it. Think that our head is continually following our neck, and our neck follows the shoulders. So everything in our body adapts to what's happening lower, alright? So that's a very important tip. Another thing that can happen, we want to be nice and straight, because they told us we have to be nice and straight. That's pretty much impossible to hold even for someone with no pain and healthy and fit, because it's not a position we're used to it. Especially we need to be typing here. So squeezing your shoulders back is not going to help you. It's going to be, first of all, very hard. Secondly, you won't be able to focus on your work because you're going to be focusing on your shoulders. And thirdly, your muscles are going to be very tight after. So simply thinking of this rule, pelvis, ribs, shoulders, in keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed, alright? always think, are my shoulders tight? Are my shoulders too backwards? Are my shoulders too forward? Just try to keep them nice and relaxed right above your wrist, and that's going to help you for sure. Yes? Another thing that happens to patients, they start having a bit of headaches, usually under the base of the skull. Yeah, right here. That's because we tend to slouch and put our chin there, especially at the end of the day when we are tired and we want to finish. Yeah. So keeping your chin in, not completely, just a nice relaxed position, same on your shoulders, is going to help you to last a bit longer in that position. Yes. Another important thing to check on your workstation is your chair. Yes. I'm lucky because I have a chair that I can move. Yeah, so I can move it, changing the height if I wanted to up higher or lower. But something for you to do if you have this type of chairs is to pay attention where your hips are compared to your knees. Yes? So ideally, our hips should be a little bit higher than the knees. So my thighs are in a little of a angle. Yeah? If my knees are too high, look what happens when I lift my knees. I have a step here. I'm lifting my knees. Look what happens to my body. Yeah? My pelvis goes forward. There is a lot of compression on my lower back. So if we're sitting like this is going to hurt a lot after. Yeah? So make sure that you're not in this position. How do you do that? Trying to lift your chair a little bit higher than your knees. Simple as that. So if you have one of these chairs that you can move, that's perfect. If is that not the case, because you are not at work and you're at home and you don't have the chair, a good tip is to get this wetted. Yeah? So that's a seat wedge. It has that little angle we are looking for. You put it under a fixed chair that you have at home. And ta-da! See, I'm a bit higher. My hips are definitely higher than my knees. And that's all we need. So you can order that one online. We have some here at Wellness Embodied. If you're self-isolated, we're happy to drop them off for you. But it's a very good and easy option. You don't have to go and spend a fortune in a chair. Just get one of the wedges and it's perfect. Alright. But when you set your hip high, please don't forget and make sure that your feet are on the floor. Alright? We don't want your toes or your hip to be high, that's so high that your toes are sort of hanging. Yeah? Your entire feet should be on the floor, not on your tippy toes. Alright? Because that again puts a lot of pressure on your lower back. Sorry, just have to fix this. Good. Alright, so I'm going to move the wedge. Perfect. Alright, another tip you need to pay attention on are your arms. Yes? Most of us are going to be either writing or typing. Yes? So sometimes what happens is we have our keyboard too forward. That produces our arms to go forward as well. And these shoulder muscles to be in a constant strain and pressure. After a while of holding that, after 40 minutes, even 40 minutes is very high-low for those muscles. So you can get sore shoulders and very tight neck after it. So pay attention where you have your keyboard. If it's too forward, you need either to go closer to it or bring it backwards. So your shoulders have to be, your elbows have to be right under your shoulder. Okay? And also you see here, this is what we call an angle between your arm and forearm. This is a 90-degree angle, which is good to use because I'm nice and relaxed there. Another angle you could use is putting your forearms a little bit lower. Just there. You don't have to go here. That puts a lot of tension on your shoulders. So either 90 degrees or a little bit lower, like this, to be able to work. Yes? Just think that if you are holding your shoulders and typing there. Is this like if I ask you to hold a cup of tea for 5 minutes like that? Yeah? Even after a minute, my arm's going to get tired and I'm going to be, oh, I need to swap hands. So imagine if you're doing this work and you're typing for 2, 3, or even 8 hours, as we usually do normal working hours. So that's very important. Be aware that your shoulders are nice and relaxed, that your elbow is right under your shoulder, and that your forearm and arm are forming a 90-degree angle there. Yes? Good. Another joint that we need to pay attention is our wrist. Yeah? A lot of people get wrist pain, tendinopathies due to be working on the computer a lot, especially if they're using laptops. We're going to talk about laptops soon, because we tend to have either the keyboard too high, so we are typing there. Look at that in my wrist. Look at the tension of my muscles when I'm in this position. That's terrible for our wrists and muscles. They are not supposed to be working there. They are supposed to be horizontal, yeah? Horizontal to the, parallel to the floor. The hand should follow your forearm line, yeah? So my hand is not dropping, I'm typing there, because that as well increases a lot of, increases the pressure on the joints, and the muscles have to work harder, and it's not here. My hand is nice and relaxed. I'm just going to move this a little bit so you can see. That's my keyboard here. My hand is nice and relaxed, yeah? Just think as, relax your hand. Let's try this. Try to relax your forearm on the desk. You see that your hand, even if it's in the most relaxed position, has a little bit of extension. Look. There is a little bit of an angle there. That's what we call anatomic position for our hand. That's how it's meant to be. That is what is perfect for our joints and our muscles. So that's what we're looking for. To have that position, nice and relaxed. Same way, I transfer it here. My hands have that little angle there, and nice and relaxed. Yes, and I can perfectly type. Very easily. No pain, I'm super relaxed here. Look how much the tension on my muscles has decreased. It's not like when they are there. It's nice and relaxed. Okay? Another important thing, using the mouse. The mouse should be nice and close to your body. Sometimes what happens, we have it too forward, and again, we put a lot of tension on the muscles and on your neck. Sometimes we have it too far out, and it's going to be the same. Our entire body is a lot of tension. So your mouse has to be right next to the keyboard. And look at my hand. Why do you think the mouse has this curved shape? It's because it follows that anatomic position of our hand. Look. Again, same thing. Look at my hand there. It's perfectly relaxed. It's the perfect size for it. So get one of those anatomical mouse. That's perfect for you. My hand is just perfectly relaxed. And I have it right next to my keyboard there. So when I'm working, I don't have to move my arm anywhere else. I just have it right next to me. Yes, and I can perfectly work from here. It's not there, it's not here, it's not here. That's something I see a lot. Patients using the mouse here. Look at the strain I'm putting on my wrist. Look how my wrist is. That's not the anatomical position. This is where it should be, right next to our body. Yeah, perfectly fine to use, perfectly fine to set up. Good. So that's pretty much the most important things. No, sorry, I forgot about something. The screen, where should the screen be? So what can happen at home is either the screen is too low or the screen is too high. Usually, all the books, or if you go to any references on online, they're going to tell you that they should be like 20 degrees down from your eyes and all that. But for me, the easiest way to find the right height for your screen is thinking if you are right opposite to your screen, look to the middle and make sure that if when your eyes are centered in the middle of the screen, you can see everywhere around it. Yeah, so if you can see your entire screen with your eyes, that means it's in the right position. Alright? So pay attention on your chin, because if the screen is too low, you're going to be putting a lot of strain on your neck muscles. Alright? So we start again, pelvis, ribs, shoulder, head, and that's where we should have our screen. Alright? Somewhere where my eyes don't have to, or my neck doesn't have to look down, or my eyes or my head doesn't have to look high or up. Alright? So your head should be centered, and you should be able to see with your eyes the entire screen without doing turns. Yeah? If you have your screen too far to the side, if your screen is too much to one side, you will have to turn your head all the time. Sometimes people what do is put the screen on one side and then they write something here, or they use a laptop or something. So that means your neck is constantly turning. That's very tiring for your neck muscles. So instead of doing that, either you move yourself to the center of the screen, or you move the screen towards what you're seeing. Okay? So avoiding to do a little resume to make it easy for you to remember. Make sure your pelvis, your ribs are about your pelvis, your shoulders are about your ribs, and your head is right about your shoulders. That your chin is not down, or your chin is not too up. Neutral position, and you should be able to see every single part of your screen without turning your head, just with your eyes. Some people these days are using two screens. So in that case, I would recommend you to put one screen next to the other, and you should be sitting in the middle. So let's say I have two screens like this. I can still look at both screens without moving my head. Alright? That's the ideal thing. If the screens are too much apart, you will have to start turning, and that's going to get your muscles very tired. Alright? So put them on an angle or right next to each other. You sit in between, and in that way you're going to be able to see with your eyes without much head movement. Okay? Another thing that can happen is that patients, or if you're at home and you don't have the desktop that you've been using at work, you're probably going to start using a laptop. So that can give you a few more complications. So tips for the laptop. First, the chair should be the same that if you were using a desktop. Make sure the table is on a nice height. Yeah, so for your forearms to be 90 degrees and your keyboard to be easy to reach. Then you're going to set the screen. So the laptop, actually, you're going to have the keypad and the laptop itself. You might have to lift your laptop. Yeah, put some books, or if you have any box at home, and put it on top of it. And check, is your chin down? Is your chin up? Or your chin is neutral? Can you see everything on your screen? That means that's the right height for it. The problem is going to be that once you have lifted your laptop on something, then it's going to be very hard for you to reach for the keyboard. So what you can do is to get online a wireless keyboard. That way you don't have to be working here because you want the screen higher. You choose leave your screen there, and you get a wireless, like this one, a wireless keyboard to work nice and comfortable. Same with the mouse. You can get a wireless mouse, so you don't have to worry about your hands that much anymore. Okay? And yeah, that's pretty much all how you should set your workstation at home. What I would also recommend you is to try to set an alarm on your phone. I give this tip to a lot of my patients that have suffered from headaches and neck pain or shoulder pain because they are working it up on the computer, is to every 40 minutes, 45 minutes, set up an alarm at home. That will give you a reminder of you have worked for 40 minutes in the same posture, so it's time to stand up or do any stretch, any movement. The ones I recommend the most is if you want to stay sitting, if you don't feel like getting up, making a cup of tea or going to the toilet, just sit down, roll your shoulders up and down, forward and backwards, do some crossing your arms in front of your chest, do some thoracic rotations, side to side. This doesn't have to be for longer than a minute if you don't have time. But at least you're moving the joints, you're giving your muscles a break, and you can reset your entire body. Yeah? It's the same example of as if holding for too long something with the arm outstretched. If you're holding that for too long, there's going to be a moment where you got like, I'm going to stop. You hold it like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go. You sort of reset, rest it for a bit, and that's enough for your brain to be ready to do it again. Yes, simple as that. Holding for too long, same position, is going to hurt. Doesn't matter how well set up your desktop is. So think that giving yourself some time, setting an alarm every 40 minutes, 45 minutes, getting up, going for a coffee. If you're at home and you have a garden, go for a little walk in the garden, sit up again. Doesn't have to be for longer than 60 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever you got is enough. Yeah, sometimes just standing up, yeah, doing some stretches for your back, some rotations. Yeah, open up if you want to stay sitting. Open up your chest with your hands behind your head, trying to avoid your shoulders from getting tired going forward. So any movement, any stretch, any modification of your posture is great. I highly recommend you to do that, and you will see that every day you're gonna get less muscle tension and less pain. And again, don't push yourself too hard trying to keep your own shoulders back, because it's pretty much impossible. Nobody can hold that for longer than, if it's not your natural posture, nobody can hold that. It's something you build up with time, doing exercises to strengthen your upper thoracic muscles. So just making sure you're relaxed is enough. Yes. Alright. So I told you guys we had a little raffle at the end of the video. What we're going to do is get you to comment below under the video and tag some friends, at least 3 friends, and then we're going to put the names of the people who have tagged friends, and we're going to do a raffle, and the prize will be a 10-minute free consultation online with any of our physios, where you can show us how your home station is, and we can give you tips how to fix it, and we can tell you if that's actually right or what else you can do to get it better. So yeah, don't forget to comment below, tag your friends, and you're gonna go straight into the raffle, and we're gonna give 1 day for you to do it, and tomorrow we're gonna tell you who the winners are. Alright, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help you with that. Comment below, and we also have very, very helpful information on our blog and a lot of exercises as well on YouTube. So our blog is www.wellnessembodiedcairns.com, and everything that is there is being written by us, and they are very useful tips, information, a lot of information, a lot of YouTube videos as well that you can have a look and do some exercises. Alright, have a great day. Thank you.